Morning, friends. So, today I want to show you a really beautiful foundational yoga series called Pawanmuktasana Series 1 or Anti-Rheumatic Series. And I love this series as someone who has days where I'm really locked in what's known as PEM or post exertional malaise, and the body really doesn't want to move. But as we hear all the time, like a body in motion stays in motion. So, what is something we can do to embody and inhabit where we're at, even on those days where maybe getting out of bed is just not an option? And so I'm going to teach this here on the floor, but you can even prop yourself up in bed and make yourself comfortable and do this on those days where we just don't have it, whatever it is society wise, right? So this is a really, really simple practice, and it was really designed to get people with limitation to for all of us to be able to move. Arthritis, whether you've got an RA or anything like that, even fibro. This is a really simple series that you can adjust to your capacity. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move each joint from the tips of the toes through up to the hips and then the fingertips up to the head. We're not going to get into any spinal flexions or rotations or any movements of the spine really in this, but just these basic movements of moving the toes, the fingers, the ankles. And we'll do this from the toes up the body. And so if you have capacity, you can just come, into a seated pose, and maybe we lift the fleshy part away and sit up as tall as you comfortably can. You can add a little bolster or pillow underneath your tush if you need to. And then if you're in bed, because that's what you need, just get your comfies, hopefully, bed is sanctuary. And when we have fatigue like this, I encourage you to make bed comfortable and supportive. And we'll do a video on that later. But if we have capacity, we're here. And I'll invite you to just drop into the feeling of your legs and your sits bones on the floor. Maybe there's a little softness needed behind the knees, and you can even put a little block underneath if you need to support that. And if you don't have these things, roll up a towel, a pillow. You don't need to go buy equipment. I'll show you how to do this without buying anything extra from what you have in your house. So we start with just our legs comfortably long, and we're going to start with just moving the toes. And I would like to invite you to join me in a connection of breath to these movements, taking this into a really much more inward state. So if you can join me doing these, I'll guide each of these movements. And I invite you to close your eyes as we move and really tie the breath, the inhale, the expansion to the movement of expansion, and the exhale to the movement of contraction or drawing things nearer. And letting the breath really be the guide for what we're doing, so that we tie that together and bring awareness more deeply into the sensory experience of what's going on in these spaces of our body. What does it feel like when we crunch the toes, when we move the ankle? So that's my beginning invitation for you. And always, and anything that we do, listen to your body. If something's hurting or saying, whoa, like listen to that, take a pause, adjust, get comfy, return when in the windows and the doors and the spaces that you have capacity to do so without pain or struggle or pushing. Here we're looking for presence with our body to really inhabit who we are, right? So I'm going to drop my awareness into my sits bones and let my breath move long and slow through the nostrils. And I'm engaging a tiny bit of ujjayi so that you can maybe hear the breath. This is a slight closing of the epiglottis. This is great for toning the vagus nerve as well. Ocean breathing. Now I'm going to begin on an inhale. I'm going to pull my toes towards me. And as I exhale, I'm just going to crunch my toes. You can start with maybe 3 if that's what you have capacity for, and gradually move your way. Maybe doing 10. Here's 4. And I'll just go to 5. Now as we exhale, we'll, as we inhale, we'll point the toes, excuse me. And as we exhale, we'll flex the feet. Inhaling, pointing the toes. Hands can be in the lap, or you can even support yourself this way if you need. Again, starting with at least 3, if that's what you have capacity limitation at, and then gradually moving towards, doing at least 10. And we're going to widen and we'll roll the ankles. We're going to inhale up and exhale down and around. Up and around. And we'll switch directions. Inhaling, coming over the top, now going anti or counterclockwise. Now we're going to flex the knees towards the thighs. So it's just going to really look like just engaging that kneecap. We're going to do inhale, engage the kneecap. It's like we're lengthening the leg out a little, it feels like. Can you send the energy down through the heel? Exhale and just release. And we'll do that on each leg independently. And then together. So trying to do at least 3 on each side. And then together. Then we're going to go ahead and clasp our hands, if we can, behind here. And this is also if you needed, wear a strap or a belt or even just a scarf, whatever you've got that you can add length to your arms if you need. We're going to reach behind here and we're going to bring the knee up like so. And now we'll inhale and just then straighten the knee, and exhale, bring the foot towards the floor. Inhaling. Again, 3, work your way to 10. And then we're going to inhale and circle. Now we're drawing a circle with those toes. Inhale up, exhale down. Opposite way. Very easy. And then we'll bring that foot in for a half butterfly. Now, for those that have we can add a block here to support. This is really tight in here for a lot of us that are sedentary or get locked in the body without motion, especially if you sit a lot, this area will be. We're going to just inhale and send the knee towards the floor. Let it bounce back up on the exhale. Inhaling. Very simple like this. And we'll draw circles. Inhaling out, exhaling as that leg's coming in. This hip is getting a little rotation. Go the opposite way. So you may be here if you're someone that has the capacity and really needs a deeper hip stretch. You can, bring that in here and let it rock out. Maybe you want to rock. I like to just listen to my body. It wants a rock right now, so we're just going to give it a little rock. Take that leg out. We'll do that on the opposite side. So as you switch, you can just recenter yourself. Take a moment, pause between sides. Let awareness be in the sensation of having moved those joints of that first leg, whichever leg you chose. And then we'll hold that left, well, I'm on my left thigh, but whichever one you're at now, let yourself sit tall. And we'll just start with inhaling and straightening the leg. Exhaling, bringing it back down. And just do 5. I'm going to bring it up, make my circle, inhale, exhale. Switch directions. I'm checking in with my tailbone. I notice I'm starting to do this. See, so check in with your body. Listen, I was feeling a little ache. Listening to that ache, taking the time to make those adjustments to bring more comfort. Let that foot come to the floor. Now we're going to bring that across here. Hold that foot. Oh, I forgot to do ankle cranks on the other side, but this is also crank the ankle. Nice. I'm going a little faster than my breath, demonstration purposes, but let your motion be with your breath. So send that knee down and let it bounce up. Don't push it so far down that we create pain across the ligaments of the inside of the knee or the inside of the leg. Be gentle with yourself. We're not trying to reach a destination. We're just letting and inviting the body to move its joints a little bit. Even if your movement is just microscopic. Just letting the joints know, especially those days when we're locked in a bedridden state or in a PEM cycle, that we still love it. We're still here practicing out of love for it, right? We're still going to invite it to have just a little bit of motion, gently within its capacity, loving it right where it's at, knowing that it's good to move the joints to keep the lymph moving. After both sides of that, we'll go into a butterfly. And you can wrap the fingers and the thumb around the big toe and the pad of the foot. I like to do this. There's a little pressure point under here you can hold. And you're just going to bring those in as comfortable as you can towards your pelvic floor. You might be way out here. That's totally fine. whatever's comfortable for you. And again, we're going to send the knees, inhaling, letting them come up. As you do this, can you let attention be in that connection that the pelvic floor is making to the mat, to the floor? Let yourself be with the sensation of moving in the hips here. And let that go. And you can either have the legs back out or just cross them comfortably as we move to the arms. We'll start with the fingers. Inhaling and opening the fingers, and exhale, making a fist, thumb to the inside. Inhaling. Exhale. Wrist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then we'll roll wrists. Inhaling on the top. Exhaling on the bottom. Going both directions. Move to the elbows. And you can do it solo or at the same time. And bend the elbows. Exhaling, fingertips towards the shoulders. Inhaling, opening up. Might be too much for some to do these at the same time, so feel free to do one arm at a time. 3, 5, 10. And we're going to bring it to the side. And we're going to rotate. Inhaling towards the front. Exhaling, opening up. Inhaling back here. There we go. Exhaling. In both directions. And you can solo. We'll take a small one here in the front. Go the opposite way. You may notice as you go through it, maybe capacity was 5 on one and now it's 3, like I just noticed on this one. And we'll let the arms just go, let them rest. Now we're going to work with the neck. We'll start with exhaling and just bringing that chin towards the chest. Lengthening the back of the neck, inhaling, chin towards the ceiling. Exhaling, coming Closing off that throat, inhaling, opening up that throat. You really want to open it up back here. You can even open the mouth, out the tongue. And then we're going to go ear to shoulder this way. Inhaling to the center, exhaling to the opposite side. And we're not forcing. So if right here, like me, if you have this kind of tension that right here is your full capacity without pain, then that's where you stop. Just meet that edge. Meet that edge. Listening always to the body. Not so much the mind telling you to take it further. We don't need to take it any further. We just need to be right here, practicing out of love for ourselves. Come to center, and on the exhale, we'll turn. Inhale, coming back to the middle, and exhale to the other side. Again, you may notice that one side's capacity and flexibility is much greater than the other. Normal. Absolutely natural with habitual patterns. Holding, posture, life. And then you can also add drawing a circle, if you like, with the nose. So it's not so much about, imagine the circles being drawn with the tip of your nose. Opposite way. Exhaling on the bottom. Feeling at the top. Nice and slow. And then just come to the center. Be here. And if you can, let the eyes close. And let your awareness settle in the experience, the sensory experience of the body. What sensations are arising? Doesn't matter why they're there, just noticing what they are. Is there a tingling in the back of the knee, or an aliveness in the fingertips, or anything like that? And nothing is also perfectly fine. This is a beautiful, simple practice that we can use to inhabit our body, no matter what its capacity, day by day. I hope you find this useful on your journey. Thank you. Have a most delicious, delightful, rebellious day from my rebel heart to yours. Go inhabit that body, baby.